Welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You are listening to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 5. Once again, for those listening on the radio, Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m., you can join us for the full, regrettably uncensored, hour-and-a-half long version on YouTube. Just go onto YouTube, type in Pixel Junkies. You can also visit us at PixelJunkies.ca. I am one of your hosts, Rory DC, and...
I'm Adam, the Forge Knight.
Jordan, the Marvel Coker.
Oh my god.
I'm Aaron, the bagel guy, because Adam likes porridge.
I'm Andrew.
You also make a really nice bagel sandwich.
I do.
Wait, you had one?
I'll
I made a
it.
variant. It's good.
You made a mutant
It's not good
offspring.
if you make it yourself.
What?
Isn't that
Whatever.
real food?
How we all doing? How's everybody?
I'm good.
How was your
hungry.
week? You're hungry? I didn't eat.
Not even.
Aaron, you had some stuff to talk about, didn't you?
Do I?
I had some stuff if Adam just made that up.
I don't have anything to talk about.
Cool.
Before
Aaron
we
won for approximately like an hour beforehand.
before we jump in,
Yeah.
how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Why did
Midterm
you
break
ask
coming up
that
next
again?
weekend.
I didn't ask it the first time.
What's coming out?
Midterm break is coming up
Didn't
next
hear mine.
That
weekend.
means nothing to me.
Well, it means something to me.
Valentine's Day.
Means a LAN party. I'm
getting-
seeing 50 Shades of Grey next Friday night.
I'm getting
Oh,
a 2000
man.
Friday. I won't be on
When
the
is
Do not
Valentine's?
envy
Is
you.
that Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it is.
Oh no! That place is going to reek.
Guess
Like physically stink.
It's gonna be a
It's
lot.
going to be vomit-inducing.
Gonna be a lot of Vaseline in that theater.
You're damn right.
we're on the
People are
radio.
I said Vaseline.
Yeah,
Only a
like,
brand name.
what is implied? I will
What?
be so.
Maybe
Rory,
it's Jordan. Adam, it's it's winter season. It's dry skin.
No, it's true. It's
You
true.
gotta bring Vaseline with you, man.
But that's not what they're going to use it for. They're going to use it for...
Leave it, Jordan.
Just massive tubs of Vaseline. Backpack
Cosmo
size
size.
containers.
So
Strapped
Rory
to your
asked me
back.
months ago. It's like, Adam, I'm gonna go see Shades of Grey
Aerosol
and 50 Shades of Grey on Valentine's Day. Would you like to come with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I scheduled my wisdom teeth to be out that Friday, so I conveniently have an excuse.
The thing of it is I had to decide, what's more awkward? If you go 50 Shades of Grey by yourself, or if you bring someone with you. I still haven't really
Is it in
decided.
IMAX?
It depends on who
I
you
have
bring
no
with
idea.
you, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I say if you bring someone with you, make sure you sit like 10 seats apart.
I'll go with you.
We had a friend.
Right on, man. Thank
she's
you.
living in England now, and that should clue you into who it is. And if she were still living here, she would probably go with you.
Yeah, she would. Yeah.
Yeah, which would make
I
it
don't
less
know who it
awkward, because I
is.
feel like if you would bring a girl, it's totally less awkward.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I still think you should print out like a press badge.
Oh, no, I'm getting a press badge. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going in there unaffiliated.
As long as you look,
Totally go in unaffiliated.
as long as you looked like she was bringing you along, like every now and then, just look over to the other guys there and
Just shake your head.
just roll your
Like,
eyes.
dude, are you into this stuff too?
Did I ever tell you how
It's
I
weird,
got-
but do you want to do
Try
it
to
together?
hide your notepad.
Did I ever tell you how I almost got kicked out of a theater? Not almost kicked out. I wasn't that close, but it was people were getting really angry at me. I got dragged along. My friends were like, "Hey Adam, do you want to go see a movie?" And I'm like, I wasn't doing anything that day. I haven't been doing anything for the whole week. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's go see a movie." It was Bridesmaids.
That's a good movie.
No, it's not.
I've
an
heard
excellent
great
movie.
things about
It's
that
an
movie.
awful
That is a
movie.
great
It's not
movie.
terrible.
I like
It's
the
awful.
movie too.
It's awful.
You're the only one who didn't like it.
Apparently, I'm the only one with a sense of taste.
I did
Anyway.
actually get dragged along with a girl, though,
Says the
so
one
that's my
drinking
excuse.
a hot beverage of the red variety. Just in case
It's
there's...
Coca-
The red variety?
It's Coca-Cola.
He's drinking
But
Big
that's
Red.
It's root beer.
sure.
It's Coca-Cola.
You can't say that. That's all sponsored stuff. Like.
It's
No, it's not.
We're gonna buy some Pepsi.
Adam,
Cola.
Adam, I gotta show you this again, dude. You slide the drink off the table, and then you just slide it back on.
Why is Bridesmaids bad?
I don't know. I just didn't find the humor funny. It got better.
Why'd you
Diarrhea in a sink.
Why'd you
What's
almost,
funnier than that?
why'd you almost get kicked
You're
out?
right.
Well, I haven't seen the movie.
Because
but-
every time
Ugh.
they said a stupid joke, everybody would laugh, and then after the song, after the laughter died, then you just hear me in the back of the theater go. And at one point, it did it. Everybody in the row looked at me, and I was just like, "All right, I'll stop."
That's hilarious.
I didn't like John Hamm in that. I feel like he was a little...
See the Scottish dude?
No, it's John Hamm.
I slid it
John
off.
Hamm, dude.
I slid it off.
Oh, the guy who's in Mad Men?
You'll get better at it.
He was like the main
Oh,
character's
yeah, he was
affair.
a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's John Hamm from Mad Men, right?
Yeah, okay, now I know. But I didn't really watch Mad Men to know who any of the characters are, except for Christina Hendricks.
That's valid.
Y'all know why.
And January Jones.
Oh, yeah.
No, not January Jones.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Wait, don't like January Jones?
Adam slowly lowering his drink.
Just lay it on the floor.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it is a really good. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Andrew, what do you have to say?
I was just trying to get this thing rolling here.
Oh yeah, I've got something actually.
Okay.
All right, so
Mordecai.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna do that after the break. But yes, we'll talk about Mordecai. We saw Mordecai.
The wrestler, right?
Can you give a thumbs up?
Sorry?
Thumbs
No,
down
the hero
right
from
now?
Borderlands.
For audio.
Oh yes,
people.
thumbs down. Thumbs down. Make sure they get that in the soundbite. Okay. If anyone soundbites anything from this podcast, it's gonna be thumbs down from Mordecai.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that at length.
Sure. Yes.
Although if they want a quote to take out of context to put on the DVD box color, it was certainly a very interesting film.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
It
we
would
might
just
get a
be
quote, yeah.
quotations ... interesting.
Interesting. So
No, I got a better one.
I'm
Johnny
more out
Depp
of
gave the most
context than
interesting
maybe.
performance of his career.
maybe actually. So I'm planning on getting a subscription to Crave TV. Y'all know what Crave
It's
TV
free
is?
with Bell Alliant if you get the Super Bundle.
What is Crave
Right,
TV?
well, this is an interesting point, right? So Crave TV is this $4 a month subscription service, kind of like Netflix, except TV focused, right?
Right.
And they have
like
an impressive what?
Is it?
What?
I said absolutely nothing.
Okay, I couldn't hear where like Hulu was coming from.
I said
Okay.
like Hulu.
Sometimes I forget about directions of these headphones.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Anyways, so exactly, it's got a very impressive
That's
catalog.
left
We've
hand
got to
right
give it that.
Colorblindness.
Now the thing is, one of my favorite things about Netflix is something I know Jordan likes about Netflix.
Yes.
because we had mentioned it before the show started. Was that it's a really fan oriented service.
User friendly.
It's user friendly. It's a very nice price. The idea of it is fan oriented in and of itself, and also their original series are very much targeted at different audiences. They want to cover all bases. If you like anime, they've got Knights of Sidonia. If you like supernatural stuff, they've got Hemlock Grove,
I
etc.
have that. Is that is that like a channel or just like a database so you can just go back and watch all their stuff?
What Netflix?
Crave TV.
No, Crave, yeah.
It's if you have Bell Alliant in Newfoundland,
Mm-hmm.
Crave TV is included with.
Yeah, but is it a channel?
No, it's like when you go search stuff on demand. It's a
there.
part of that. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
We all have that.
Yeah.
If you have the top tier,
Never use it.
if you have that HBO bundle nice package thing, then it comes with it as well.
I've watched movies from that, I think.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I'm not crazy about Crave TV, because when I first heard it, I was quite excited. You know, that's a $4. If you don't have it automatically in your bundle,
Yeah.
it's $4 a month.
Yeah.
That's quite a reasonable price.
Yep.
And it's clearly not made as a replacement in Netflix. It's a supplement. The problem I do think I have with it is the fact that it is only available to subscribers of certain cable service providers. That I don't like.
That's the issue with a lot of things now. Like,
Yes.
I always go and reference like wrestling stuff, but there's a WWE network,
Mm-hmm.
which works very much similar to Netflix in the United States.
Yeah.
But when they tried to bring all that copyright material here to Newfoundland or Canada, they had to go through a provider, which I thought was the dumbest thing ever
It's an
because they own
unbelievable
all
hassle.
of this. Yeah, because it's only through Rogers or Eastlink, and I'm not switching cable providers to have a bandwidth cap.
And there we go.
Yeah.
And here's
wrestling.
here's like one of the real like crux of the points here is that, you know, Netflix, one of its best features is its accessibility. You can watch Netflix on anything that isn't a toaster oven, basically, at this point.
Even some toaster ovens have
Yeah.
ports for iPads now.
But the thing of it is just
is
like
dumb.
it's like they've caught on that, okay, this is a really great way to get material out to fans. You know, it's just a great service, but then they've sort of gone backwards with it and sort of gone back to tradition with it. They're like, all right, the traditional thing isn't working anymore, so let's offer this sort of new method through these very remarkably traditional means. And also, if you don't have Bell, it's not really $4 a month, because then you have to switch to Bell.
Yep.
And Bell costs a little more than $4.
Yes, but if you're already with a cable provider, it's an equivalent switch.
Is it though? This
If
is
you-
what I'm
yeah,
wondering.
well, the
Like, how
thing
much is the?
Guess what? How much to stream this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How much is it going to cost if you go over your bandwidth from the other companies? Because the other companies
Yeah.
have limited
I don't
bandwidth.
No,
really
that's a good
think it's
point,
the bandwidth, though. I think it's the licensing to get, you know, to be able to show it or be able to have that content.
That's something I still can't
I know.
kind of comprehend.
I think people need to
because-
get over the licensing things. Just have like a flat fee to show stuff. Like,
Like, that's something that you always, well, not always, but you bring up a lot in, like, our other videos and stuff, and I 100% agree with. Stuff like, Well, because it came out today, which you shall go watch. Your FIFA or your Formula One video. In that you talk about how if you want to watch old Formula One, races or whatever, you can't unless you taped it.
Yeah,
because they don't release DVDs of it, and even if you want to watch it as it's happening, it's hard because if your country doesn't own the rights to it, I forget. I don't know what the actual nuances of it are, but if your country doesn't have a carrier that carries it, then you're out of luck. You got to pirate it if you can.
Yeah, which is really they've been saying for years that they want. I don't really want to go off on just talking about F1, but they've been saying for years, because that's a good example. They want more viewers. They're trying to attract more people to F1. They want to have a bigger audience so they can do bigger things and have bigger races and get more people involved. But it's so difficult to watch F1, especially in North America, because most of the races are in Europe. So they come on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and nobody's going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Unless you have a PVR, you're not watching it. You can't watch it online unless you steal it. And the recaps of the races only show 5 or 10 minutes. Yep. So in order to be a hardcore F1 fan, you need to be getting up at ridiculous times to watch all the sessions.
Or have a PVR.
Yeah, and they don't really list when the times come on.
And you want to watch sports live.
Yeah, and you go through if you have a Bell or another a cable or satellite provider, you go through. I mean, half the 400 or 500 channels are hockey, baseball, and so on. Yeah. And then there's one channel with F1 on it.
No, exactly.
At any one time, there's 3 episodes of Big Bang Theory on at the same time. Yeah. So
it doesn't make sense to me. TSN have actually gotten really good last year. They have I think just 4 or 5 TSN networks now, and they all play different things, which is great for us.
And TSN just got the UFC as well, which is
yet
another sport. Yeah. And it's the thing of it is I know there's probably some people behind Crave or Bell or whatever it is, a lot of people who know a lot more about business than I do who've made the call, but that's sort of the problem. It doesn't feel like it's a fan decision. Having it just for Bell subscribers is not good for us. No. It's bad for us, actually. The decision was clearly made for purposes other than the fans.
Are you with Rogers in Newfoundland?
No, I'm not.
Good.
No, I'm with Bell as it would turn out. So it's not too much of a problem for me, but just restricting it. The great thing about Netflix is that it's not so restrictive. It's accessibility, and to have to switch, ISPs or something if you want to go the full way, switch your phone, switch your cable, switch your internet. Takes away the convenience element of why these services are so great.
Definitely.
Now, mind you, I'm still going to get it because the fact of the matter is I am a Bell customer, and also I really want to watch TV, so it works, and that's perhaps part of the problem. So
unless Bell is paying massive dividends to Crave to compensate for the customer base that they would otherwise have.
It's a sub company.
Of Bell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Crave is owned by Bell.
Wouldn't they make even more money? It doesn't make sense to me.
Subsidiary.
Oh, well.
I'm just wondering, if Crave expanded to other service providers, would they then make more money in total than if everyone switched to Bell?
This is a funny thing because I'm positive right now. Rogers bought out hockey for $5 billion or whatever it is, $50 billion.
Which just to pause your point, Rogers bought Hockey Night in Canada and hockey for $5 billion. That's not a lot of money when you think about all the money that hockey generates.
Oh my God, no! But the point of it is they got a monopoly on that now. Yeah. So I'm assuming that Crave TV for Bell, yes, but Rogers is going to have their own.
The CBC.
They do. No, they do. Show Me.
Yeah, exactly. So
Show Me is the Rogers.
It's the exact same thing, right?
It's not good for us. That's and Aaron, that's a really nice point you raise about how if it is a subsidiary of Bell, which we're just going to assume it is for the sake of this, wouldn't it just be so much better for Bell than if everyone was just subscribing?
But the point of it is
the customer base would quadruple.
If it's owned by Bell, then they don't want Rogers to be affiliated with it in any sense.
Yeah, but wouldn't they make more money off of it?
No, because the point of it is that if they have a better product, which they believe they have a better product, then they're gonna take all the subscribers from Rogers anyways.
And I don't think they're wrong if they have a better product, but it bothers me. And one of the things as well, I love watching Netflix on my PlayStations. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I can't do that with Crave TV.
Yeah,
that's
a no-no.
It's really when you have Netflix out there, it's not a good showing.
Can we also talk about, because this is along a similar pattern, why Canada and American Netflix have different shows on them?
Copyrights.
licensing.
I know that's why, but what I'm saying is it's I find it idiotic how there's two different copyright laws for two different countries. That's stupid to me. Why? Like it's along the same lines that you were talking about. Make it make it more accessible, and you'll get away. If Netflix Canada said we now have all the shows available for American Netflix, which a lot of people watch anyway due to mucking around with where your computer thinks it is. You can't I don't know. Netflix's use. I think a lot more people would start using Netflix than they already do. Because that would be because there's so many more shows on the American Netflix.
Think about it this way. We're talking about Bell versus Rogers. Think of it as Canada versus the United States.
It's
not a business decision in the same way. Right?
Well, those copyright things are huge because America's like, well, we want to own everything that we own. Like Disney wants to own.
No, that's not how. That's
the whole capitalist
most
approach.
things that people watch come from the States. That's where they are. Most of them are on American networks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so a lot of the rights belong to those networks. It's like if you made an album or we made a movie.
But
or
if
something.
we have access to those networks here in Canada and we're officially paying. Yeah, we're officially paying for.
But you still need to have the rights.
I understand, but why can't the rights be a global right for the individual property?
Because you need to pay for it. It's like when you buy a movie at a store, you can't just go in and take it. You need to pay for the right to own it. That's like Canadian networks need to pay.
Don't take movies?
Man, I need to write a lot of letters of apology to Blockbuster.
They went out of business.
You need to pay for the rights, and a lot of the Canadian networks and a lot of the people who distribute it here just don't pay for it because I guess they don't have the money or they don't want to spend the money on it.
True enough.
It's stupid, but
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I understand why it's there. I'm just also saying that it's stupid.
I would be fine if they raised the price of Netflix by like $2 just so we could pay for those rights to own all of the content.
Even if they said an extra $10 and we'll get you all those movies, I would pay an extra $10.
I don't know. That's the kind of territory where you're starting to go like, all right, well I pay this cable bill a month and now I'm going to add this big package on it.
But if you use Chrome or Mozilla, there's an app called Ola. It hides your IP from where you live.
Yeah.
If you're into that,
and everybody's doing that. Like you can change the IP address on your Xbox or your PlayStation and get access to these networks anyways.
We've got to take a quick break now. When we come back, we're going to talk potentially more about this. We have any points to finish up, and also I think me and Adam
new Netflix shows.
Mention a few things about MORTDECAI. So stay tuned.
Let's come back to that.
And we are back with the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 5. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I'm your other host, Adam the Board tonight.
I'm your other host, Jordan the Marvel Coker.
I'm Aaron. They're still watching the same video if you're listening, or if you're watching the video, so you know who we are anyway.
I'm the same guy I was.
Yeah, that's true. I reintroduced for the radio.
5-second break.
Right, because the radio, they might have just tuned in after the break.
Well, you know what? Their loss.
Yeah.
They're
not going to know who you are.
A few radio
I'm going to be
listeners.
mystery guest.
All right, so before the break, we were talking
right,
a little bit about CRAVETV, which, and I do want to emphasize this as much as I can. I've seen their catalog; it is very nice. So let's get that out of the way. They're on the right track.
Yeah, because they got all the HBO shows.
You
Bell
guys
is
be a thumbnail.
Bell is on the right track. It's just if you have a competitor that's more fan oriented, I mean, it looks bad. It's the same situation with game developers, really.
Yeah.
When did cable companies have anything to do with being fan oriented? Literally everything you watch is just being pumped into your brain.
What?
For the most part.
No, but you've used a metaphor that I'm not pumped into your brain.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
There was originally Channel 5 and Channel 3 for most of us. Do you remember those days?
I do.
You didn't have cable?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point in time, you're watching NTV News and you're like, I would rather die. But, it's...
That's still
back
today,
in my day.
We have thousands of different choices, but the cable companies still don't give a crap.
So many people.
Okay, no, I'm locking onto your point now. Okay, yeah.
TV is dying in the form it is, and I've been saying for years, long before PVRs and stuff has been around.
Back in 93.
Yeah, back in my day. TV needs to be just Netflix.
But
it needs to be...
But the thing is, Netflix needs shows, and those shows have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they could make stuff directly for that. It would just be in Netflix. They would make it for this service where everything is on demand. You can watch whatever you want.
Okay,
I'm
locking onto it now, yeah.
And then to keep sort of a traditional TV format, it would there'd be one channel and it would play shows that it recommends for you. You can watch just TV and it would just play shows that it recommends you should watch. You know, like you don't need to pick them.
The only
Well, I
Well, then you
might
can
just be a CEO of a cable company right here, and I'm just saying that wouldn't make me as big of a jerk as I possibly can.
Trillionaire.
So I'm not going to do that.
Have
Also,
subscription packages for different networks.
Nope.
You want ABC? It's like an extra $2 a
Nope.
month.
guess what?
rather
Guess
be a
what?
jerk,
The
my
biggest
kind
industry
sir.
in the
My
world
father
is.
was a jerk, and
The
his
biggest
grandpappy
how
was
is
a
it?
jerk
Wait,
before
let's-
him.
HBO's been
Long
doing
line
quite
of
well.
Is this like
in
a
the private
Hawthorne
channel.
thing from Community? Is
Yes,
that
there
the
is.
what?
We've been jerks ever since the Civil War. My grandfather, jerk general.
Where's the
General jerk.
reference?
I don't know.
When
This
did
captain's gone off
when
on a
did
The accent
Foghorn
is
Leghorn
changing.
get-
The okay, so sorry. Let's rewind to Jordan. How is it defined? You said-
Commercials are the biggest frigging industry.
but what? How is
close to
biggest
the
industry
square.
defined?
What do you say?
How is biggest industry defined? Biggest in terms of
Well, in terms of
viewers.
financials, just money coming back and forth. Like YouTube had to add commercials.
Wait, no, we got to rewind again. Is this something you're saying, or is this something you just read on your phone?
No, it's something that I don't know if it is the biggest industry, but when you
Oh, okay. No, I thought you meant you were just reading. And guess what the biggest industry is, guys?
No,
like
no,
there was
no,
like a
no,
list
okay.
of some sort.
That's different. What you're getting at is different. YouTube has ads to pay for content creators, which if you watched an ad before this video, it's giving money to us because that's how YouTube creators make money.
yes, that's how that works. Yes,
Enjoy Seventh
But
Son. Coming out this week.
Netflix would have to start doing that if TV goes that way.
Why would it? You're paying for Netflix.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't
You're
matter?
paying for the cable provider. You're paying for the net.
Yeah, and it would get rid of ads.
What?
You're paying for the TV
You're already
subscription.
paying for ads, and you're already
No, you're
paying
not.
for the TV, and you
Yes.
have ads.
Yes.
Yeah, but those ads would go to, or the ad revenue goes to the content supplier, Bell or Rogers or whatever. They're the people who play the ads. So if you just had one channel and you could watch whatever you wanted, and it was subscription based, like HBO, which by the way don't have any ads, and it also has one of the biggest budgeted TV shows on network television right now.
I think it was only ever outdone by Marco Polo.
Yeah, Marco
Yeah,
Polo's
but
is second or first.
HBO
right?
is
Yeah.
entirely
Costner's
subscriber
Waterworld.
based.
Yeah.
Everyone who watches
enough.
HBO pays for HBO.
But HBO's $20 a month.
Yes.
Okay.
The thing of it is
Just that's the
also,
point of
how much
I
is
will
cable?
say,
My cable,
Yeah.
I would say separated
Ballpark
from
it.
the internet and the phone, $50 a month.
So what if you had like $50 to $100 internet or TV a month, and you could just watch whatever you wanted any
I wouldn't pay that
any
much for
network?
it.
It'd be like Super Netflix.
No.
the thing is though,
Superflix.
one thing I actually, and I don't mean imply that like I'm stuck in the past or I don't want things to evolve. I do like the current state of TV.
Do you?
I do. And I know a lot of people aren't pleased with it.
As the CEO of a cable company,
I
Joe
do-
Jerkinson.
I do like the situation.
I do like that. We'll continue to provide you with another 8 more seasons of Big Bang Theory.
In Cougar Town.
No, not
The,
even Cougar Town. Old Big Bang Theory.
here's
It's
the
gonna be
thing.
Big Cougar Town.
Here's the thing about the Big Bang Theory.
Bang.
I will
It's
defend.
blackface for nerds. That's what that
Here's the
show
thing:
is.
the first, I truly believe that
Yeah.
the first three seasons of that show are a good show.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna defend the rest of the seasons.
Also
Keep in
pretty
mind,
friendly to nerds.
there's 8 seasons, and the first 3 are good. That's less than half. That's not a glowing review.
No.
I believe that somewhere they lost it or just couldn't hold it. I mean, it's maybe
What
it's a hard
happened
show to.
Is it NBC?
No, it's CBS runs.
CBS was like, our viewership has gone down on 2.5 Men. We need another show to make terrible to fit that time slot.
Geeks!
Why can't TV be like watch based? Like, oh, I want to watch this channel, and then you watch it.
Oh, I thought you meant like on a watch.
No. Well, I mean Apple Watch. I'm sure they'll have TV.
Is that
But
out yet?
I'm not sure. But yeah, you watch that show, and then they would charge you at the end of the month whenever your TV bill. It's like you watched this show, you paid 30 cents or something.
That would be crazy.
Would it?
Yes. That's
It's not
microtransactions.
No, it would just
That
be.
is microtransactions.
And then we're getting into early access.
I get
We're
probably
watching
400
shows
channels
with
I
sets
never watch.
unfinished.
Early access
Yes.
TV.
I get a lot of stuff that I don't watch,
You're
and I
right.
wish I could just pick to not have it because I'm never going to watch it. I just
We're
want
watching
like,
Game of Thrones. Half
10
the
channels.
costumes aren't on. They're just in the like stuff with the script.
I do like, and yeah, one of the reasons I actually like the current state of television is I like the ability to watch some like network TV shows on my Netflix. I don't. If they do go over the Netflix model, what I don't hope they do is start doing what Netflix is doing and just make only these like high budget, really high quality shows. That sounds strange, but sometimes I just want to watch those
Some of them
network
are
television
terrible, yeah.
like story of the week shows. Like I want that to be an option still. So I want there to be like some like mediocre Netflix that doesn't do like very good stuff.
You know what's the worst contender for like all this stuff like region locking and just like not being able to view their content? Freaking Comedy Channel. If you, Lord help you, if you want to try and watch a clip of Jon Stewart on The Daily Show on anything else but a bootleg copy on YouTube, unless you PVR'd it, because then it'll come up. You don't live in America. Screw you.
Like the thing Aaron mentioned, Holla will fix that. You just gotta set your IP to an American address.
I know, but like
Holla
you shouldn't
or
have to do
Holla?
that in the first place.
No.
You should.
Oh,
that should
absolutely
just be,
not.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
they don't make money the same
90%
way.
of the comedians are Canadian. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's true.
Watch that fire thing.
yeah.
I've seen.
No, go ahead.
No, I've seen episodes of The Daily Show where like they have the Comedy Central logo where like there's a C and then the other C is flipped upside down. I've seen stuff on the Comedy Channel where they have that, but then they put the other logo on top of it, so you can like see two Comedy Central logos.
Oh, you know what sucks?
Like, why are you playing the same thing from another network?
It's what you're talking about. It's the Comedy Channel where this thing is not available in your country, but it makes you watch an ad before it gets to that screen.
Yeah.
So you click on the page, you want to watch Jon Stewart. It
Thanks
will
for watching
play.
the ad. Screw
ad.
you.
It'll
Like,
play
oh,
a
it's working.
15-second ad.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, it'll come up. Sorry, this content is not available in your region.
And they wanna just
So the
go-
Apple Watch comes out 2015. You can buy the Watch Edition Apple Watch.
What? That's the worst name for an edition.
Well, there's the Watch Sport, and the Watch Edition. So whatever edition means.
That'd be like saying-
EDITIO.
that'd be like
the
saying
hell?
Batman Arkham Knight is coming out. Make sure to pick up the Batman Arkham Knight edition.
I don't know that. I don't think they know what edition means. There's a car as well called the Koenigsegg Edition R, but it's not the like. I don't know. It's,
Anyway,
learn what edition means.
Mordecai.
Yes, okay. Do you mind if I ramble on this for like 2 or 3 minutes, then you go?
It has technology.
Hang on, let me get.
Can I interrupt you with hilarity?
Yeah, man. Feel free. Why not? Yeah.
You can wind it.
So.
Mordecai!
That's actually shockingly relevant. Right, so Mordecai, we just saw Mordecai.
No, we were
Okay,
playing Minecraft.
it's relevant, but you're gonna need to stop. So we I'm sorry, that's incredibly disturbing.
Me yawning?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't like a lion roar over there or something.
Anyways, oh man, so we just saw Mordecai, the David Cope film, with starring Johnny Depp and Gwyneth Paltrow and Ewan McGregor and Paul Bettany.
For a second. Can you edit in the MGM line sound for when he Continue.
I don't want to get sued.
And so
Fake it.
So anyways, here's
I'll use that soundboard.
there's
Those listening to the radio, Jordan was
I was yawning, but it looked like I was roaring.
There's
Synopsis.
a couple things about, and I'm sorry, Aaron, I forgot to send you the article, but I will. And I mentioned in my article that, like, like the biggest problem that I have as a critic is when I go to see a movie and I don't like it because I'm really bothered because then I'm going to write a negative review and people are going to tell me that critics just like being negative, and I hate that because it's of no benefit. For me,
Well,
You also wasted money on something.
I like
that
being
good.
negative.
exactly. It's of really limited utility for me to see a movie that's not good, so I want all movies to be amazing.
So I'm sensing Mordecai was not a good movie.
And yeah, exactly. You're
Out of
sensing
5,
correctly.
right now.
No, I'm not doing the star ratings.
You have to.
We don't do reviews.
For me,
of Pixel
We don't do star ratings.
No,
and-
just kind of like
He
give
gave
me
a thumbs down. That's as much as he
yeah,
gave.
a thumbs down.
like 2
Yeah.
thumbs down.
What?
2 thumbs down.
I don't know,
Why does it need to
dude.
be a scale, Jordan?
Because that's how I judge things
Well,
by
listen
mental
to
math.
what he's going to say about the movie now.
maybe
Yeah,
I'll
that's
like
that's
that.
much more important. Like a summary is of limited utility to you to really understand about this film. So the real problem with this film, or at least a big problem with it, is Johnny Depp's performance. And as I say, a good performance alone is not enough to make a good movie, but a bad performance alone will make a bad movie.
You made a really excellent point coming out of the theater, or somebody made it. It might have been Sandy. I can't remember. We went to see with our friend Sandy. And it was, Johnny Depp is an excellent actor when the director has him on a leash.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
Because if you allow him to put one toe over the line, he's going to go Jack Sparrow. Like, to the max. It's gonna be,
That's exactly what me and Sandy were both saying, and Mark Kermode has echoed that sentiment. And that really is the problem with Johnny Depp. He seems very hard to direct. He's very hard to rein in, and when you don't rein him in, it's truly a horrifying result. It's a very uncomfortable performance to watch, and from the very first second, you're going to realize how uncomfortable it is, and you're going to be saying, and I've heard other critics say this, please tell me he's not going to do that voice throughout the entire film. He does.
It's
the whole thing.
What is the voice?
I'll try. Can I try and do it?
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine, I'll do it, but it's like, imagine if somebody who lived in England and then moved to America, and he's an English person, but he's trying to put off a really offensive English accent, like it's like not a Cockney accent, but a really
you were on the right track.
Really high and snooty accent with lots of exaggerations, as people in America think that the English are.
And Adam's performance is relatively subtle.
What?
No.
And the thing is, yes, and he accompanies this by the bizarre grunt. It's really a terrible artistic choice.
You know when, like, Family Guy made a joke about this, when, like, dads get out of chairs, like, older people get out of chairs, they're like, like, they make sighs. Like, his whole performance is that, like, he'll just be running down the street and be like, oh dear. It's like, anybody of you ever watched, like, the Wall of Thornberrys cartoon?
Oh yeah, that's who I was thinking.
Yeah, because it's like Nigel. It's like Tim Curry. It's like it's like Tim Curry as Nigel Thornberry. It's like if Tim Curry stopped caring, even less than caring now, because like the whole thing is like
Nigel Thornberry.
I'm going to go. What?
Nigel.
Yeah, that's actually
smashing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's really good.
His face looks exactly like Nigel Thornberry.
You gotta get the.
Do
it again.
Get the word out of his nose.
You gotta do it with the nose.
Smashing.
And that's like.
And we have a thumbnail.
So you can see why having that throughout the entire film is kind of jarring in a way. It's also
annoying.
I mean,
how long is the
Can I
movie?
be honest?
It's about an hour and 50 minutes,
no.
I'd say.
I thought at the beginning of the movie, because when he's doing that, like, he's in the bar, and he's like, here I am at this bar in Hong Kong. I'm just like, oh, clearly he's undercover, and then he's going to come out and he's like, right, here's what I learned. But no, he continues his outrageous accent.
I think they got like halfway through filming that movie, and they're like, can we just like stop this and restart in a less annoying voice? And they're like, nah, like we're too far into it.
I really wish it could have. It's also, and there are sort of two more key problems with the film, I think. The second of which is it's almost comically like The Grand Budapest Hotel, which is a movie which is much better.
That's what I was thinking. It's not the same director or anything?
No, it's not. But it is about
a
quirky European man with a mustache who steals art. Like, that's a really specific...
With a quirky kind of like extremely loyal sidekick.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that the plot of the Grand Budapest?
Both of them. Yeah, it's the plot of both films. That's bizarrely
that is
the
like
same.
Pacific and Atlantic Rim.
And it's a real problem when you have one movie which is on the one hand Grand Budapest Hotel, which was my number 4 movie of the year, which I think was really phenomenal.
Yeah.
When you get to number 4, 3, 2, 1, you're kind of splitting hairs at that point. And then on the other hand, you have this movie which fails in every respect. And
How does that always happen? That like things with similar themes always come out at around the same time. It's like
The Illusionist and the
clearly
Prestige.
these people had to be working on this like 3 years ago, but
I think
now they're coming out.
Studios will put out a call for certain types of things.
There's also probably a lot of just like spying.
That's
going
good
on.
idea.
A lot of people write different
But even like-
scripts, and they'll only pick one,
You know,
and then you send the script to
it's
somebody
like game
else.
developers,
Ralph
though.
Fiennes, right?
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes, sorry.
No, it's Ralph.
No, it's Rafe. Ralph is pronounced Rafe in his name, not Ralph. It's spelt Ralph, but pronounced Rafe.
I don't like him anymore.
Ray Fiennes.
He's not American.
You add F to the end of every word anyway, Jordan. You should be
Anyway,
like,
Ray
Yeah,
Fiennes.
Ralph.
Yeah.
He, in his
Ralph.
performance in Grand Budapest Hotel, he was like, I'm going to make a really quirky character, but I'm going to make him very sophisticated. So he's often talking like, he gets thrown in, there's a scene where he gets thrown in jail, and somebody goes to see him, and he's like covered in bruises. He's like, what happened? He's like, well, you see, they're all animals in here, and I had to show dominance, so they'll eat you alive. So I went up to the biggest, baddest guy here, named, One-Eyed Jimmy, and I punched him right in the nose, and a fight ensued. maybe we're the best of friends now. And it's just like really kind of quirky performance. And then I'm guessing Johnny Depp saw that performance, said, right, I really like that performance. I don't even know if he's English or not.
He's not.
No.
Right, I don't know. Right, I really like that performance. I'm gonna do that kind of performance channeling Tim Curry.
Yeah, and he couldn't have gone further into that artistic decision. He's like, I think I'm gonna do it this way. No, I'm definitely doing it this way, and I'm gonna crank it up to 22.
Yeah.
And I think the last major problem of the movie is that it's supposed... See, Ocean's 11. Let's think about Ocean's 11 for a second.
Great movie.
It is a great movie, right? It's a heist movie.
The original.
I wasn't talking about the original. I was talking about the George Clooney, Brad Pitt version.
The original is good too, though.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I should. I agree with that.
It's actually amazing.
But
Related, moving on.
Jordan, were you behind that terrible, terrible crash that took place in Quebec last year? Because you have an ability just to derail things.
Oh,
Too soon.
Probably.
But anyways, Ocean's 11 is a heist film, correct? It's a heist film that uses comedy as a tool for expression.
Yeah.
Now, properly, what Mordecai is intended to be is...
don't worry about it.
Anyways, okay, sure, I won't worry about it.
Derailing it even without trying.
So Mordecai is supposed to flip this formula on its head, and it's supposed to be a comedy film. That's its essential purpose, as I understand it, which uses heist as a plot device.
Yep.
But for some reason, it has all the timing and filming left over from its heist film roots. So it's got comedic dialogue, which is paced like a heist film. It is very awkward, and the visual style is like shockingly sober. For the great thing about Grand Budapest, you can tell it doesn't take itself seriously because it's got such insane visuals.
Yeah.
But this is filmed with like a shocking, like matter of fact way of looking at it. So it makes its like plot holes and weirdness not seem charming. It just seems weird.
Plot loops.
You know what? The one time I thought
Someone make that a cereal, please.
Did I give away any spoilers?
No.
Okay, good.
The one time I thought that the movie was going to get a little bit creative was when the guy was stealing the painting at the beginning, and then he's knocked unconscious. And when that was happening, I thought, "Oh, here we go. This might be a little." That was a little bit unorthodox the way it happened, but then it didn't. Now the movie is not without its good parts. The biggest being, I forget the actor's name. It escapes me right now.
It's Paul Bettany you're thinking
Paul
of,
Bettany,
right? Who
yeah.
plays the large bodyguard gentleman.
Yeah, I forget what his character's name is.
As do I, actually. Yeah.
But it's like it's like Hans. He's like this bodyguard who is constantly just getting like crapped on by Mordecai. Mordecai's the main character. He's Johnny Depp's character. He's constantly being crapped on. He gets all like the hard work, but still he's very loyal, and he's very calm with this guy, and he's this like big. Think of like, what's the show, like the very famous, or the movie with English gangsters or English mob people?
Snatch.
Are you
Yeah,
talking about
Snatch.
Snatch? Yeah.
Yeah, so think of like a guy, like a goon
Shot in
from
the
Snatch. It was a very good shot in the dark.
I was
That
thinking
it.
Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels.
That's also another Guy Ritchie
Anyway,
film as well.
one of the I think of a thug from that movie, and that's this character.
Yeah.
But he's also he's also like part thug, part butler,
Yeah.
and it's just a really interesting character. And he's given a lot of quirks, which are actual like nice quirks because he's a sex addict, and that's really funny.
It actually played that surprisingly well in the
Yeah,
film.
like-
And the other performances are all pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
It should be mentioned. Gwyneth Paltrow, Ewan McGregor.
Well,
Not
Gwyneth
bad.
Paltrow, I think, was wasted in this film. Although she did a good job. It's just I felt like they could have gone for somebody a little bit like... I felt like if she was like a bit more of a nut,
Right, I know
it
what
would
you
have been
mean,
funny
yeah.
to kind of match him. But like I love Ewan McGregor as this like really cool like FBI agent who's just constantly getting like Mordecai keeps one-upping him no matter what happens. That was really funny.
Like, Catch Me If You Can, except not good.
yeah. But like that body, like that character was just such a great character. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, he's really good. I quite like Paul Bettany.
Like,
He did like Silas in the Da Vinci Code and Jarvis in Iron
Oh,
Man.
that guy. Okay.
and he was the hallucination in Beautiful Mind.
In Beautiful Mind,
Chaucer and Knight's Tale.
Yes, he was in Knight's Tale as well. Yeah. I mean, he's
He
actually
like
got
that
a...
movie Priest or something.
Unfortunately, yes, he was in Priest and Legion. So
Which were
Both
basically
of them.
replicas of each other.
Anyway, Paul Bettany is an actor.
did we do
who's
the
like-
second break yet?
Nope.
Man, sorry. Go on. Keep talking.
Have you
All
guys
right.
seen Thomas Crown Fair?
No, I
Or
haven't.
as I call it, 007 Boobs on the Beach. It's
Moves
also
on the beach?
Boobs on the Beach.
Okay.
It's also a
Boobs?
moves on the beach.
Moves.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cows.
It's also a heist movie. I was wondering if, like, are the heist scenes any good?
No.
No.
What is it? Is it a movie?
It's not even.
It's
They're
a
not
heist-
even
yeah,
a
it's a
heist.
heist movie.
Do you know how they like find? Actually, there's one part where he's like he's doing the Ocean's 11 thing where he's just like, all right, here's what. Hang on, I'm gonna get the character. Here's what we're going to do. You see, we're going to sneak. We're gonna have expert timing here and sneak into the house, and we're gonna have to pick the lock and get the combination to the key. And then like the guy just comes over, and is like, I got a ladder from the truck. Let's prop it up against the window, climb into the window, and steal the painting off the wall. And he's like, "Ew." And that's what they do, and that's how they get the painting. And that was actually kind of funny.
There's also no diversity of emotion in the film. There's no elements of sincerity like you had in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Even in Ocean's 11, you had the occasional dramatic moment. Yeah. It's just every scene has to be absurd.
And Rory, I don't know if this came across in the film. I got it. I don't know if you got it because it was kind of subtle. Did people not like his mustache?
But, oh boy.
They do the mustache, like you've probably seen in the trailer.
Can you not say mustache?
Adam
No,
just
they
kind of blatantly insulted you. Go ahead.
I didn't.
It was sarcasm.
How did he do that?
Nothing.
It was meant to be sarcastic towards the movie.
Okay.
Because that's how he pronounced it. He's like, every English gentleman in my family has a moustache, and like.
I'm
like
throwing up in my mouth just
Yeah,
thinking
well,
about
there's a
it.
scene
I'm
where-
glad you mentioned
Yeah, there's
that.
a scene at the very beginning where he comes in with this mustache, and he goes to kiss Gwyneth Paltrow, and Gwyneth Paltrow goes to like, yeah, he does that. He does that.
He has to.
And
You gotta roll it.
And he goes in to kiss Gwyneth Paltrow, and she starts to vomit, and he's like, "Don't, I have a sympathetic gag reflex, dear." And then that happens another 5 times at least. Would you say?
Oh, boy, too many
With
times.
Gwyneth Paltrow, it's
means no, man.
awful. That's how the movie ends. They go to kiss, and she's like, "I'm fine with your mustache."
Yeah,
they
this is
kiss,
not a spoiler.
And she said, and then she's like,
I'm not gonna watch it anyway. Based
and
on
then
this.
she goes to vomit, and then fade to black or cut to black. It's not even
Nice.
fade.
Oh, it's not near as horrifying as all the other critics said it was. I don't think.
No, it's not that bad. It's just don't go see this movie. This is probably the worst Johnny Depp movie I've ever seen.
South
though,
Park
by
used
far.
to do the same thing with the vomit, though. The Stan and
Yeah, but it was a
Wendy.
cartoon.
Yeah, but she doesn't
Yeah.
actually vomit. But she doesn't like. And South Park is different in South Park because it was funny.
Also, it was
Yeah,
Stan
I'm
vomiting,
saying,
not
is
Wendy.
that where they got it from?
Oh,
Are they?
No, that's a thing.
No, I
That
think
is a thing.
it was Stan was nervous. Gwyneth Paltrow was probably just disgusted
Disgusted?
by this guy.
It probably wasn't even acting the first time. It was like, all right, let's just write into the movie.
But let's talk about Johnny Depp just for a quick second, unless
Yep.
we have to
They're
take a
like,
break.
cut.
How about we do this? We'll take a break, then we'll come back. We'll talk about Johnny Depp.
Johnny
all right?
Depp.
And some new Netflix series that we heard about.
Yes, yeah, we are going to talk about that, and so stay tuned, everybody. Lots more to come. And we are back on the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 5. Welcome back. Y'all know who we are by now.
I'm Jordan the Marvel Coke.
And I'm Rory DC.
Is Jordan the copyright infringement code?
No, man.
Oh, Marvel contact you and say stop, please.
Speaking
It
of
would be hilarious
Speaking
if
of Marvel-
DC contacted Rory.
Speaking of DC, do you mean the District of Columbia or the company?
Not both.
That's true.
When I watch it,
Speaking of DC, there was a big comic announcement today. They're like, the news came up on my thing. It was like DC Comics is ending its new 52, which is the official name of their comics run, printing. I'm like, oh, are they rebooting the universe? They're like, no, we're just ending the title of that. We're still gonna have, we're having 49 comics instead of 50. It's gonna be the same story, the same continuing storylines. A couple of new comics. We're ending some comics, which is standard issue. Pun intended, for the for comics industry, and I'm like, so what's the news? And it's like, well, we're no longer calling it the New 52. It's like, dude, it came out in 2011. It hasn't been the New 52 for like 3.5 years. So yeah, that was the big.
calling it just the 52 now, or like the new 53. Or
No, it was
It's
still
just DC Comics.
no, but they're because it's broken up into different like eras. So this era was called the New 52 era, where before
were
it
there
was
52 series or comic series
per month. Yeah.
Did they reboot Batman?
52
So you could,
issues a month.
No,
Films
well, it would be
parents get
52
shot.
to 50 new comics a
sequel.
month. Because
Yeah,
there were
okay.
52 storylines per month, or 52 ongoing series per month.
It's a lot of reading.
Yeah, which is why a lot of people they came out like that first September when it launched. There were 52 new comics, and people only read like 10. because I'm not buying all 52 comics. That would be absurd.
madness.
Can I ask
Especially
a technical question? No, sorry, you can finish. And I'll ask a
Especially when
technical
Rob
question.
Liefeld is writing and drawing one, which please send him back to the 90s, because Rob Liefeld, man. And Scott Lobdell, don't read anything by him. He's an awful writer. And an awful human being, as it turns out.
Technical question.
Technical question. This one's for Aaron. Aaron, when the radio show is done, can I cut this off and then give you the audio for that, and then we'll start the audio for the after show? Because that would be a lot easier, because it's getting problematic to edit the hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Give me both files and I'll cut them together.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
DC should make a Johnny Depp comic.
Yeah, I want to just make that quick note about Johnny Depp.
No, going back to Johnny Depp.
Secret Window. It's a short...
by the way, same director as Mordecai.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not.
Oh, man. Secret Window, if you've never seen it, is an amazing movie. It's a short story by Stephen King that was adapted into a movie. I think it was called Secret Window, Secret Garden or something.
Does it take place in Maine?
I think it does, actually.
Is there a supernatural element?
Yes.
It's Stephen King.
I know, but it's still great. I knew it was written by Stephen King. I just couldn't remember the name of the short story. Either way, it's a movie worth watching. Unlike apparently Mordecai, I can't judge that myself.
Speaking of Stephen King, you've been reading Dark Tower.
I have.
Are you liking it?
My only issue is the dialogue, but there's not much of it, so I'm kind of fine with it.
Yeah, it's very. I don't like Stephen King's dialogue.
Well,
much.
this is just really weird. Like it's very improper. He's like, "You got hamburger," and it's like,
I think that's the point.
is really primitive English.
But that's kind of the point, because the
No, I
world's
get it.
moved on.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in his head.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not taking place in Maine. What do I do?
Yeah.
Is he from there? Or is it just like
You
an
know, I
eerie
don't
setting?
know. I think he's from there.
It's like it's
He would have to be from there. But like it's like a startling number of his stories have taken place in Maine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maximum
Overdrive.
Stephen King was born in Maine.
Okay.
In Portland, actually.
Yeah, and that's where I think he discovered the body, because Stand By Me is basically Stephen King's childhood, kind of. Because he discovered a body when he was little, and then he repressed the memory, or so he told. I'm still not 100% sure, because I've read stuff that says you can't repress memories, but whatever. And anyway, he came out much later, but he thinks that, like, he remembered it much later, but he thinks that, like, psychologically, like, seeing the dead body, like, psychologically geared him towards horror, and that's why he writes so many horror stories.
Did he break Stand By Me?
Yep.
That's cool. I did not know that.
And then they adapted into the movie featuring Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
And was it Sean Austin in that movie?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm confusing that with
Goonies.
No.
Rudy.
What?
Rudy. You're confusing Stand By Me with Rudy.
No, because Will Wheaton and Sean Austin are also
Stand By Me was Will Wheaton and Will Wheaton and River Phoenix are the two main actors from Stand By Me.
Is that Joaquin Phoenix's brother or something?
Yes.
That's cool. It's
I'm
a
almost
small
positive.
world. I like that.
He played young Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
River Phoenix actually passed on in '93.
That's sad.
I know it was a while ago, but I didn't know exactly when.
He played a movie where Stephen King found fear, and then he also played a role in Indiana Jones where he found out why Indiana Jones is afraid of snakes.
What?
It's the Illuminati.
Okay, this is my second question. I forget my first. What is your favorite Johnny Depp movie?
I would have to say that Secret Window.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've watched that more. Like, I have a rule where I can't watch a movie more than 4 times in a year unless I like it.
What?
Well,
I
have that rule too, I guess, by de facto. I don't watch a movie any more than once unless I like it.
Why would you
Wait,
watch
now,
it
no,
more?
hold on. Oh, okay. No, the actual rule is I can watch a movie that I like 4 times in a year and
I
not
guess
be...
I'll watch
Oh,
it
okay.
again.
No.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense. Without being like, oh, I hate this movie. I can watch a movie like Cold Mountain.
Do you need to watch it 4 times before you
No,
know
but
it?
like if I was like introducing it to 4 new people or something during the course of a year, I would be
If
able to watch
after 4 times you're not sick of it, it's a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. Or on the 4th time, because the 5th time I'm like, I know this is good enough. Because I take in a lot of
You
stuff.
keep
really
showing it
easily.
to people, so I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if I can watch a movie twice and hate it, but I can't watch it more than that. So, but if it's a good movie, I'll watch it up to 4 times.
Adam, what's your favorite Johnny Depp movie?
Probably Pirates of the Caribbean with him.
One.
That was amazing.
Because I haven't seen Scissorhands, and I don't plan to, because I honestly don't care.
Nah.
I've heard I've heard people like who watched as a child be like, "Oh, it's such a fantastic movie about not judging people." I've heard people who've gone back and watched it being like, "Not special."
It's alright.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is also an amazing movie.
It is.
You should watch that.
Good movie.
Considered
It's
one of
sad.
DiCaprio's best performances.
Oh my
actually.
god, yeah. Like it's actually one of the best movies. Yeah.
You know what's one of my favorite performances? Friggin' Alan Rickman in Robin Hood, The King of Thieves, or Den of Thieves, or whatever that movie was called. That was a great performance, because that was an Alan Rickman when he did not care. Because it's like, I don't know if he ad-libbed for most of that movie, or they just give him the most ridiculous dialogues, but he's complaining about Robin Hood, and he's like, cancel all the scraps going to the beggars, and cancel all the coins going to the poor, and cancel Christmas! And this is like, it's just such a fantastic line. He just leaves, he closes the door and he opens it up again. He's like, and cancel Christmas. I'm just like, who says that? That's such a fantastic line. He clearly didn't care. I don't know.
Improv.
What?
Whenever I wonder if that was just improv and he just came back in and said that and they were like,
Oh, that's probably it. Man.
smashing, leave it in.
Do you think the guy was going for the camera and they was like, he comes back, it's like, and cancel Christmas. Like, no, roll, keep rolling.
I think Robin Hood is one of those
awful movies you gotta see.
Well, the story of Robin Hood, it's always so
Represented?
yeah.
Yeah.
Represented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Misrepresented.
Have we ever had a good one? I mean, the Disney one was good.
No. Did you see the
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe one?
I did.
The reason that was so well accepted here and locally is it goes back to what we were talking about at the end of the last episode. Is the whole like provincial
People in Newfoundland go crazy
yeah,
about
so there's a guy in the band called Great Big Sea who's in it, Alan Doyle.
Yeah.
And
he played
I was
Alan
friends with Russell Crowe.
and he played Alan O'Hako or Alan O'Doyle or something.
Alan Adale.
Alan Adale.
Yeah, okay, because they couldn't think of a better name for him.
You know what?
That's the name of the character.
Well,
in
the best
Robin
parents'
Hood.
named
Yeah,
him the
that's,
wrong
that's
thing.
the name of the character. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The best
Is it?
Robin Hood adaptation is the episode of Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen it.
Q basically, I don't know why it wasn't a holodeck adventure, but Q snaps his fingers and he turns the entire command crew of the Enterprise into Robin Hood and his married men. And so like instantly like all the people are like dressed in like tights and leotards, they all got bows, and George LaForge ends up being Alan of Dale. So it's just like he's there playing his lute and Worf comes over and he's playing it really badly and Worf's like, "May I?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he hands him his lute and Worf cracks it in half. He's like, "Sorry." And he gives it back.
Sir, I must protest. I am not a merry man. That is a great episode.
Yeah, the writers were definitely on strike or something.
The Care Bears one was good.
Care Bears?
Yeah.
How cool would it be to have a Care Bear stare? Because there's be like somebody's talking and you don't want to listen to it. It's like, Care Bear stare!
I don't even remember what that is.
Where's the Michael Bay Care Bears movie?
I thought you were going to say...
I want a Care Bear flipping in
happening?
the air and then like ground pounding with his Care Bear stare and be like, Care Bear stare! And he like curves like, and just like curves like melts the ground and like a big groove just going down the street. Like it goes over a tank and the tank's like,
And all the sexual objectifying of underage girls in a Care Bear movie.
Yeah.
How apt.
So
and then Michael Bay uses the same footage from his past 5 movies. That
With the
highway
car,
scene and the car.
You know what's a really cool scene from a
Might
movie that
actually be
still
hilarious.
holds up?
I'm never going to guess this.
shot that
You should
beard.
tell us.
Yeah,
times.
it's because it came on TV the other
Upside
day.
down in this one.
The car chase scene, if you want to call it that, from Matrix Reloaded, where they're on the highway, the freeway battle.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That
I
was a really
agree.
cool scene.
That is a good scene.
How did they film that?
They made a highway.
Yeah, I know. But
As
that's
I
that's
understand
crazy.
the development of that movie, basically every scene, that was 2 minutes long, took essentially like 10
You know what
weeks to
doesn't-
film.
You know what doesn't hold up? In that movie is the dialogue, because at no point do you understand whatever the people are saying, because it's not like when Neo goes to speak to the architect, which is the guy in that room with all the TV screens.
Yeah.
He's like, and like you think of the conversation would be like, "Who are you?" It's like, "I'm the architect," but instead it's like, "Who are you?" My name is like, my name is the thing that I was given when I was created by the machines to run the Matrix. It is of no consequence, but I will tell you anyway. Even if I will tell you, I'm not going to tell you now. You will have to wait. Why? Because of choice and purpose, Mr. Anderson.
It's like an anime.
It's like Metal Gear Solid.
I was actually just about to say that it plays like a bad anime at the end.
How much
Metal Gear
exposition
Solid.
can we fit into one line of dialogue?
There's
I
also,
don't know. Let's ask Hideo Kojima.
Also, by the way, I think we found the other inspiration. I think we found that Johnny Depp, when he was doing Mordecai, was on the one hand looking at Ray Fiennes' performance in the Grand Budapest Hotel, and the other hand was watching The Matrix Reloaded and seeing the Merovingian. Right?
Is it
and
the Merovingian? No, the Merovingian's the French guy, right?
Yeah, he's the weird, quirky guy. That's the other inspiration.
Yeah.
It's like half Merovingian. It's half.
He's like trying to explain. It's like, we're trying to find the keymaker, and he's like, it's like poetry. Take that dessert over there. It's like poetry. Every line of code, intricately layered. And I'm just like, what are we watching here? And Morpheus is like, man, we just watched the keymaker. I don't know what you're going on about. That movie, man, the dialogue in that movie is so terrible. At no point do you understand what's going on.
In what, Mordecai or Matrix?
Both, but mainly the Matrix, because like Neo goes to see like the Oracle, and the Oracle's like, I
Who's
knew
recast for some reason.
Yeah, and
No, she died.
Did she?
Yeah, she died, and that's why they had to recast her.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's I seem to remember that too. Actually, now that he mentions it, I wouldn't have recalled that.
That makes sense.
Neo, why are you here? Why am I here? Because you're here.
Oh, thank you.
It's like,
I guess I can go.
It's like,
now.
it's like, but why am I here?
Questions.
You made the choice. What choice? It doesn't matter. Why? Because you've already made it. Well, what choice is it? It's your purpose to make the choice. What? And like the audience is like, what's going on? We don't understand. Please help us.
It's like a pop-up window.
Yeah, and guess what movie we're going to go see tomorrow? Another movie by the Wachowskis.
Did you like Cloud Atlas?
I never saw it.
You should see it.
It's worth it.
I've heard very mixed things, so I feel like I might like it.
It's very setting oriented.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't hate the story. The acting is decent for the most part. I don't like how they reuse the same people throughout.
I like that.
It's cool sometimes, but when they've got Halle Berry as an old Chinese man, it's kind of weird.
We're coming up on the conclusion of the radio show now.
Briefly.
Extremely.
That's the one reason I didn't go see was because starring Halle Berry on the front. I'm still not convinced that she's anything close to being a good actress.
She's not bad in this.
Okay. Radio.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in. Remember to go on to PixelJunkies.ca or YouTube.com and type in Pixel Junkies to get the full hour-and-a-half version. So do that, and we will see you there.
We're small the camera.
No thumbnail for Rory.
All right, we are back for the Pixel Junkies after show.
Whoa!
Welcome back, everybody.
Fuck.
Hey.
That was like 3 seconds for you and like 2 hours for us.
Yeah.
So.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry, what did you want to address?
First, is there anything we have to finish from...
No.
No, I think we've covered about everything.
I want to bring this up because I've been talking about it.
Nintendo stuff.
Well, this is Nintendo related.
I want to do Nintendo first.
Segue to that.
Okay, segue all
We want to make everybody hate Nintendo before we make everybody not hate them.
Okay.
So Nintendo has a new YouTube thing.
Oh, a new YouTube policy? Okay.
YouTube policy.
Is
Let's
it
hear it.
anytime somebody posts a video on one of their channels of anything related to Nintendo at all, they get set on fire with bees?
No, you can... In order to show Nintendo stuff on YouTube, you have to become an affiliate or something.
No, you see, I don't like that because that sounds bad for critics.
YouTube curator or something. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I'm too tired to look it up. YouTube gets 30 to 40% of your revenue on anything, and it has to be a game that Nintendo approves of.
You see,
And yet other companies are like, yeah, host all the stuff you want because it's free advertisement.
see, I don't like that. That sounds bad for critics.
Yeah.
They re-released a system that's already out again.
And YouTube can use your content for whatever they want.
Nintendo does, man. And
It's
games.
garbage.
I don't know if other...
Majora's Mask looks good.
Yes, but too many 3DSs.
And I'm part of the problem for pre-ordering games.
I'm not going to pre-order it.
No, but you're part of the problem for giving them money for games that came out 40 years ago.
For other games, say, like, we're doing a series now in a game. Do you want to tease what the game is?
I don't even remember.
It starts with an M.
Oh, that series. Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
All right, we're doing a Mirror's Edge series now.
Yay.
It'll be coming out next week. So.
Does EA hold the right to do whatever they want with that video? Like, I know we didn't.
That I don't know.
Is that a philosophical question, or are you generally asking?
I think they do if they made it a problem, but they don't. They just let you create your own stuff. So. Because
there's been so many times where, like, I don't know, Total Biscuit or Rooster Teeth or like the game Grumps play game. Like, what was the game that Rooster Teeth or Let's Play Achievement Hunter came out with a Let's Play a couple like on Wednesday, and it was like Smash Ball or something like that. I forget what the name of it is. If I hadn't placed my phone on the other side of the room, I would look it up.
Lethal League?
Lethal League, yeah. That game, I would never have heard of that game before, but that game looks awesome. That's one of the funnest looking games.
For sure. But it kind of ties back into what we were talking about earlier with television, and that game developers do hold the right to distribute or choose who gets to view their content that they create. Because, they made it. You know, they own it.
Yeah.
And a lot of game developers, that's sort of where the line has kind of shifted with game content and Let's Plays, because Let's Plays and gaming content is massive now. There's a lot of people that make livings off of that. Mm-hmm. And so it seems like game developers don't so much care because more exposure for them. Even like game developers have their own YouTube channels, and just trailers will make thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Just showing people the game that they made.
Yeah.
So I think why can't that formula work for television? Like, why can't you have TV episodes on YouTube? You know, like, wouldn't they make money from, like, and that kind of gets into my idea of per view.
Yeah.
Like, if you had an episode on YouTube, you get 10 million views. That's a lot of money.
That's commercials again, though. Like, that's a big part of it.
I also saw
but it's only one.
A point about not being negative towards something. Like, if you're part of the curators program or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, so
you're not allowed to like defamate or.
That's so stupid. The point of it is that if you put out crap, you put out shit, let everybody fucking know that it was shit. So either the developer fixes his fucking ass, or they fucking fire the dickhead who made it.
Yeah, they probably also want it to be like. I'm assuming it's Nintendo. I'm assuming here that they want it to sort of be more family friendly content than. Traditional, fucking shit and all that stuff. Like, if it's a Nintendo game, Smash Brothers, it's probably more oriented for kids, so they don't want to be watching videos of people swearing their heads off.
Nintendo is quickly becoming the Apple equivalent.
Are they? Was Apple ever that bad?
No, but by that I mean is
they're quickly becoming the Snapple equivalent, because they're relevant.
What?
I like Snap.
You don't like Snapple?
Get the fuck out.
I didn't want this to turn into
Get the fuck out.
I was just making a really terrible joke.
Get out, man. I like Snapple.
Although I'm not crazy about Snapple and glass bottles, because one of those broke on me one time. Glass bottles need to go.
On you? Like, what? You were just, like, drinking it and it was like...
No, it, like, fell out of my bag. See, they shouldn't put... Drinks should be in... Here's how it's done.
But then you'll get cancer.
What?
And die.
From plastic?
Yes. Plastic.
I like the taste. I like the taste of glass bottles.
You know what I've been drinking a lot of lately?
Yeah.
Anybody ever had San Pellegrino?
Yes.
No.
I knew you would. I don't know why, but
fancy water, man.
The orange one? What?
The orange one?
The orange one, the blood orange, the lime. I've been having a lot of the lime
it's
lately.
It's like Perrier. You can get ones that are flavored.
Yeah.
And it's got that it's got that really nice, like, sort of like aluminum foil thing on top of the can, which you take off.
They make it like an occasion when you're opening a bottle of it or a can of it.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly, yeah. No, it's like a thing. It's like, I'm gonna have one of these now. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting down, I got like one of those, like a big pile of like molasses candy, but I've got San Pellegrino, so it feels fancy.
Yeah.
So
it's good that rats can't piss on the top of the can either.
True. All I was gonna say was that the reason that Nintendo's becoming Apple is that they don't play well with others. Apple is a company that does not really play well with others compared to like, Microsoft or Samsung or other companies that are putting out similar products. Nintendo has never really played well with others, not even developers, because third-party developers have always come out and said it's hard to develop games for
Nintendo doesn't even acknowledge the competition's existence.
Yeah,
that is exactly it. They have a completely different market strategy and market. I think that they're appealing to.
Yeah, but the market is old Nintendo fans.
They don't have a
Essentially,
market.
Although in some
Except
cases,
their market should be everybody.
The market doesn't exist.
Yeah.
in some cases
Not
I
Nintendo
like.
fans,
In
it's
some
everyone.
cases I like not acknowledging the competition. In some cases I don't. It all depends upon how you treat. Because obviously they know about the competition. It's a matter of the
No, I don't think
presentation.
I'm not
do.
convinced they do, though.
No,
Because they
honestly,
keep
Roy,
making really terrible decisions.
Well, well, if it turns out bad, it turns out bad. But in some ways, when you don't acknowledge the competition, it can be good. So you don't like a lot of people think that a big problem with what happened at Battlefield was that they tried to be too much like Call of Duty.
Right.
They were too aware of the competition and or what they or perceived competition,
Yeah.
which is what this really is. So they
Shouldn't
went
be.
too far in the other direction. Of course, you can go back and like you said, you can make the case that Nintendo's been making bad decisions because they are not aware of the competition as
You
well.
have to acknowledge the actual market. Like, if you're trying to sell games to people, which they are, they're a gaming company.
I don't
Yeah.
think they are.
You need to acknowledge who's
Yeah,
buying them.
No, I'm serious.
No, you are. I can tell. Please.
Well, just like you watch, like PS4 knows exactly, like the Sony guys know exactly who they're selling video games to.
Yes.
They got this like 20 or like 17 to 25-year-old margin of dudes buying video games. Like, that is a huge market for these guys, right? That doesn't necessarily work with Nintendo.
But they're still a gaming company. No?
But they're not. They can't be.
But they sell video games.
Yes, but at the same time, they're not trying to. I don't know. They're
think
more
what
trying to sell
Jordan's saying-
idealisms as opposed to.
Sony's like, what do you want us to make?
Yes.
And Nintendo's like, here's what we made. If you like it, buy it.
Right,
If you
okay,
don't,
I see
go
the
fuck
distinction.
yourself.
I see the
Exactly,
distinction
Do
now.
you think Satoru Iwata, who's the CEO of Nintendo, is like, you think the company has to keep him in the dark about the existence of other consoles? Like, the new Nintendo, the new Nintendo Wii U is going to be so good it'll put the Sega Dreamcast out of business for sure.
Do you
It's
think
like,
that's
yes.
what they'll call the next console? The new Nintendo Wii U?
Oh,
Probably.
For fuck's sakes.
Probably.
Don't give them ideas. Do you think Nintendo headquarters is like North Korea?
I think, honestly,
like the only internet they can use is on a
I think
Wii?
Sony locked on to something powerful with alphanumeric naming. PS1, PS2, PS3. This was really the smart way
And
to go.
Xbox fucked that up. Xbox 360, we made a full revolution.
Which was
Xbox
fine.
One.
Yeah.
Every time we
Xbox-
go to talk, you fiddle around with the dials, and that's
What?
disconcerting.
Well, sometimes I need to fiddle around with the dials.
Because Jordan's super loud.
I am super loud.
Jordan keeps moving his distance.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I'm pretty concerned.
But like there was like the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's a standard name, and then there was the Super Nintendo because it was the '90s. And that
That's
was
cool, though.
Yeah, and then there was the N64, which was
64-bit.
lame, but it was after the 64-bit. And don't argue with me that the 64 is a good name for a console because it isn't. And then there was the GameCube. That's an awesome name. And then it was the Wii. And,
There is some charm to non-alphanumeric names, though, because it's almost like...
yeah. Like
It's
like
almost
cars.
like the Xbox One isn't replacing the 360. It's just a new platform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Or
Well,
like
and it's
cars. Like I would much rather if instead of calling it the DB10, they were to call Aston Martin was to call it something like the Mirage or the Quantum. Or
Yeah,
something
it's not like... I mean, it's unheard of for a game company to have two platforms. Like if Nintendo came out with the Wii X or and
Don't give them ideas.
the Nintendo
The new Nintendo
something.
Wii X.
Like it's unheard of for a company to have two platforms at the same time.
Well, we're not talking handheld here. So.
not handheld. That's like a different genre.
Yeah.
I think the Vita is a terrible name, too.
I think it's a terrible name.
Better than the
I think there's
new
a
3DS.
I think there's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that happen to the Vita that are really unfortunate.
Such as its existence.
Can
I think they just picked the
Can
names
I-
because
No,
It's
but
a
there's
really
something-
good thing.
It is a really good thing
that
and
nobody plays.
It's because there are no games
it
for
just has this like really unfortunate turn of events. That's
Like, it didn't do well in the first month it came out, and then Sony was like, oh, what are we gonna do? Drop it immediately! Don't ever talk about the Vita again! It never existed! And so everybody who bought a Vita was like, when are all the new games coming out soon? It's like, never! This console is shit! And you're shit for buying it! No more games for you!
I wonder why I have
PS4.
to change the dials every time something goes over to Mic 2.
I'm gonna say something, and it's probably gonna sound terrible. I feel like
know
Most
what
of it
that
does,
was.
Jordan.
yeah, I feel like Nintendo doesn't have enough English relations. Not to be an idiot or sound racist or sound But like, it's just like.
Well, I just think you need to find a better word for it than English relations.
No, honestly, I don't think they have like North American relations.
Western
or North
They're
American
enthralled
relations.
in their own culture.
They are, and it doesn't translate well coming over here. It worked initially, but it gets to the point where it's like you have a main character in the game. His name is Link, and he can't talk. Why can't he talk? Why has he never talked in the game?
He goes, yeah.
Because they don't want to add
like,
dialogue.
But that's wrong. That doesn't work in the Western society. It doesn't build enough of a story.
You used to.
It used to. Exactly.
Really doesn't anymore.
So the point.
And you know what?
I'm
the
trying to
worst
make
possible thing they could do with that. Like, can you even
The
imagine?
best possible thing they would do is take out the current CEO and say, "All right, you're getting an early retirement now," and then put in a new guy. What? Why is it racist?
That's not racist.
If anything, it's a no.
I honestly, I think they need to have more talks with North American and Western people. Like not people like.
Do you mean build games specifically for Western audiences, or have
exactly.
or have like Nintendo of America not just be a company, or
North
not
Americans
just be
are North Americans a bigger market for Nintendo than?
It's a huge market.
They could be.
Yeah, but are they bigger than Japan?
I doubt it.
Absolutely.
That is the point.
No, totally not.
It's not. No,
Japan's a much bigger market for Nintendo.
Well, then market
Exactly.
for Japan is.
Well, but
they do. And that's
but they can make
when it comes
more
over here,
money.
it doesn't translate well.
But they can make more money if they also started to market for America.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they would lose. They would probably lose some of their honor.
You can dual market.
Yeah, but this is this is a central point. Are they
Selling
concerned?
themselves for
extremely
money.
well.
Are they? But this is the thing. Are they concerned that then they just have to compete with Sony because they've locked into
that's the other thing.
They've locked into something. They've locked into a charm. They've locked into a fan base. And if they try to compete with Sony and Xbox, who've been doing their type of competition for much longer, maybe they're worried about that. Maybe they're worried about stepping into that arena as a third
And there's
person.
something to be said about that. But also, you can't keep releasing the same thing over and over and over.
Let's go back
on that. I am with you.
Look at
On
the
that, I am with
covers
you. Certainly.
For the new Super Mario Bros. There's been the new Super Mario Bros., the new Super Mario Bros. Wii version, the new Super Mario Bros. 3DS version, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U version, and the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U Luigi version. 5 games. They have the same cover. The exact same cover with the exact same gameplay with maybe a cosmetic change. That's 5 games launched in a row. The exact same. It's not even like
I think
it's not even like
they're appealing to ignorant people who are like, that's a new one. I'm getting that. I got 2 of them. I'm getting the third one and 4 on the people.
I like how
Put that in the quad.
Jordan's Nintendo market are all from the Southern Shore.
They are.
It's great.
Barney Jesus, if I don't get me new Luigi Mario Brother game, I swear to fuck, I'll never fucking play another fucking Mario in my life. Anyway, it's wrong. It's wrong. Stop doing it.
They have shit third-party support, so they have no choice but to make
They don't
in-house
have
games.
N64 third-party games were fucking wicked. Battle
They
tanks.
were like the only
Battle
console.
fucking tanks.
that system was awful.
It was that. And
N64 was amazing.
PlayStation.
Quest 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Amazing
PlayStation came
game.
out after.
It did.
Super
but
Nintendo
Nintendo
had
had a
amazing
head start on the
third-party
market.
support.
You're not wrong. But they just
Very right.
fucked
And so
off.
did the GameCube. The GameCube had amazing third-party support.
What the fuck did
And then
they
they're
do?
like, we're gonna do what Sega did and make a console that's exceedingly hard to develop for. So all the developers were like, we want to make games for your console. Here's how you do it. It appears that your console runs on some form of mayonnaise. We can't really make a...
Can't even play fucking DVDs on a Wii.
Brought you by Miracle Whip.
What the fuck
Okay,
is that?
that's a problem. No doubt about that.
That is stupid.
You've
as
been able
fuck.
to play DVDs on an Xbox since on Xbox and Sony since the PlayStation 2 and Xbox era. Tap into the market, Nintendo, you dumb bucks.
On related to Nintendo. So this Legend of Zelda thing. Now there's
Can you imagine how terrible a show would be if it had
There
Link in it?
was. There was a show. It was an animated version.
Yes, in
and
the Mario
yes,
Brothers.
I remember
Yeah,
it.
was
I
great.
remember it.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Jordan.
it was
Oh,
great.
no,
it
we gotta
wasn't.
stop. It was
Excuse me, princess.
no. I'm sorry, Jordan. Jordan,
It
wasn't great, man.
It was great.
I'm
It's
so
a
sorry.
great
It
childhood
wasn't
movie.
great.
Memory.
It was not good.
Childhood memories.
It wasn't good.
Adam, on a scale of 0 to Vampire High.
Vampire High.
Shit's always better
Jordan.
Is
in
that the
memory.
top of your list?
Vampire High is hilarious.
It's great. It's probably a big wolf.
Well, it's Big Wolf.
Big Wolf on Campus, that was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
Guys, you're all wrong here.
No, I love those
Your memory
shows.
is
I love
way
those
better
shows.
than the actual stuff, Jordan. Go back.
Yes.
And
No, I
watch
love
it.
those shows. Those shows were awesome,
You know what's
man.
a perfect example of memories way better than the actual stuff? A little while ago, Andrew came up to me and Aaron was like, we're going to play a new game, and it's going to be really awesome. I played it as a child, and this is one of the best games to come out for the Xbox. It was Advent Rising. Go watch our 20-part Let's Play series. It was shit.
I still don't hate that game.
Oh my god. Every
I
minute
watched
there was...
2 minutes, and I thought it was okay.
Did you watch the rest of it?
No, I watched like a boss fight.
Okay.
It looked alright, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it wasn't
Now,
bad.
the thing...
It came out the same year as, like, as Half-Life 2,
That's why you bought
Metal
it. though.
Gear...
You watched
one of
2
the Metal
minutes
Gear
and
Solid...
you saw
No,
it.
don't talk
That
about
was
Metal
alright.
Gear Solid being good.
Halo? I'm talking visuals. At
What
the
are
very
you
least,
saying?
at the very least, you have to admit that Halo has nice visuals. It
No,
came
I
out
don't.
the same year as Final Fantasy X-2, which had amazing visuals.
That's true.
The,
No, it didn't though. 10 was better than 10 too.
Yeah, but I'm saying it had better visual.
Well, and regardless...
So they're
this-
they're continuing the Legend of Zelda series.
On Netflix.
Is it a continuation?
Here's the...
No.
Here's the thing. There appears to be some very
Fill no gaps.
bizarre speculation on this sort of thing. So here's what we say. Netflix is. I'm just, like quoting this thing here. Netflix is describing it as Game of Thrones for a family audience. Now, like let's take that quote and then let's sort of put that in the bank.
There's not going to be any dicks.
So you
or
take Game of
vagina.
Thrones.
Keep
Take Game
all
of
the good
Thrones
stuff out.
and then strip all the interesting bits out, and then you got Zelda,
No,
whatever.
so
it's
keep
called.
in mind-
Don't knock this yet.
But no, keep in mind, this quote, that's a very specific quote about the show.
Yeah.
Right? Now we have this other thing, is they're talking about the... Oh, no, never mind. That's
Do they have like
another
$100
thing.
million budget
So,
per episode? Or?
I'm not sure how much of the stuff about the show
of
is still
Thrones.
speculation. Here's the
Fuck is
thing, though.
that?
Me and Jordan were talking about this earlier in the show, and I believe it. It's one of the great things. Netflix makes shows for fan bases, and this is actually more evidence of that. I'm not sure if the show will be good. I'm not sure if it will be bad. But what I am sure
don't
of
think it's
is
gonna be
that
bad.
this is very much in tune with the mandate of Netflix, which is let's target another very specific fan audience.
It's a huge audience.
There's not enough
It
in
is.
Zelda, and
Well, they're gonna
played some
add.
Zelda games, and I do like the. Then it's not my favorite franchise. I think I have no idea why it's so popular as it is. But the game, there are games out there that are quite nice. There is not enough in Zelda to make a TV show out of, in my opinion.
But they're adding
There's not
stuff. There's not enough.
Okay.
But Pirates of the Caribbean
this-
is based off a theme park ride.
That's true, but if they have to, but people keep talking about Legend of Zelda like it has such a deep lore. Not really.
Oh,
No.
did they really? Okay, no, I don't know
No.
anything about the fan conversations about.
Link finally bangs
I
Zelda,
think
or-
there is enough content to make a show if the show follows Link. Like if
it
they're
should
trying to
follow
do a
Zelda.
whole political thing like Game of Thrones, but make it not good, then I don't think there's
Also,
enough.
who are the
there.
other
Awesome. If it
characters?
was an over-the-top like adventure series where Link is some sort of like inept, but he's still forced to do it in any way, so he's just like this bumbler, kind of bopping around the woods, kind of like stumbling into adventure. That would be funny. Like I'd watch that.
I don't know how this is going to go, but there was a show that used to come
The
on.
live action?
Yeah, I think it can be done. There's a trailer actually on YouTube, like of a live action version of Ocarina of Time, the movie or something like that. And
Yeah,
it was
I
only
think I saw
fan.
that.
It was only fan done, but it was actually like really well done. And like I think if they could adapt from that and like idealistically,
I
think
just feel
it
like
could
the
be a great show.
the casting is, no matter who they pick, going to be controversial. People will be like, that doesn't look like Link at all.
Hashtag not my Link.
Michael Cera.
That's
There's your link.
There's a big problem with. Also, can I say something about this? Actually works quite into a point I wanted to make about TV shows and expectations. When when there's a lot of hype behind a movie, you go see the movie. It either delivers and it's 2 hours, or it doesn't. Right? It is very clear. Did this meet my expectations, or did it not? With a TV show, unfortunately, people go into a lot of hype for the pilot, and then when the pilot's not as good as they want, they're like, the TV show didn't meet my expectations. You just watched 1/50th of it. That's not enough to make so it's very stuff like this is very problematic because there's going to be a ton of hype behind this show.
But at the same time, a pilot should be good like that, though, because that's what people's mentality are going into it. Which is, to be fair, I mean, like if there's so many if you're into a fall season and there's 20 new shows coming out, you don't have time to keep watching all 20. So
That's
you got
true.
you
Yeah.
hook the audience right away. And if your pilot is a failure, then you're like, even if the rest of your show is good, you failed.
You can make a good pilot. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
So try
if,
for that.
If True Detective opened up with Woody Harrelson staring at that woman with the antlers and
Hey,
with a pickle.
wild, you wouldn't watch the rest of it,
No.
right?
Now you gotta save that for the second episode.
Yeah.
I think there's too much emphasis put on the pilot though, because like
Breaking Bad had a good pilot.
Breaking Bad did have a good
yes,
pilot.
no, and a lot of good shows obviously had a good pilot,
But a
in
lot
order
of
to
good
keep
shows
them on.
also don't have great pilots. They have okay pilots, but or sometimes ones that are really good in retrospect, like
Yeah.
Community. Community is a really good pilot in retrospect, I think.
Because all the preceding seasons were terrible.
What?
The first season was good.
Oh, I'm not overly familiar with the program.
They're making a new Beetlejuice movie.
Oh no!
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Is it it's a sequel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm alright with that.
Yeah, I
You know
think it
what
is.
Does
Google
anybody
that to make sure.
Does
but-
anybody remember the old 19? I don't know. We were all a little bit too young to like when it was first coming on, but I saw it in reruns. The Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah, I think that was in syndication while I was alive.
Yeah.
Andrew is now dead.
Got a little bit more.
I feel like I remember, but I never
There's
watched it.
there's an episode, and I remember this clearly because I remember thinking it was a really weird episode at the time. That I went
Nice.
back and watched it on YouTube because I came up somewhere from something I was reading. They fight Cthulhu, and it's not like some Cthulhu stand-in. They're like, no, they fight Cthulhu. Raylia? The city rises up in the middle, like right off the New York
That's pretty
coast, and then
fucking cool.
he rises up out of the ocean, and they gotta like destroy him with the proton packs, which he can't do because he's Cthulhu. But anyway, it was really cool, and I'm just like, wait, the Ghostbusters just beat Cthulhu. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Can we mention Ninja Theory? Because I think this is something Andrew will want to comment on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Hellblade, do you know of it?
Nope.
Hellblade is a new Ninja Theory game coming out this year.
Who's Ninja Theory?
Ninja Theory did a lot of games which are all quoted to be criminally underrated. Games like Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. And I
Great
bet you
game.
played that, didn't you?
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a
Yeah.
great game.
Really
I
good
played
game.
that.
DMC, Devil May
Fist bump
Cry.
from or you can
Or at least some of the versions of it. No, all the versions of it, I believe.
Face of Fear. If I
Let me just
it.
double check that. So I think,
I have heard
thumbnails.
of Is Hellblade a spin-off of Heavenly Sword?
I don't know.
Isn't Hellblade an anime?
I don't think so.
An anime?
She looks
they
a lot
probably-
like what's her name from Heavenly Sword?
Oh,
Probably
they
couldn't
use
call
a.
it, like,
They use,
Hello
I don't think it is,
Sword.
but I know what you're talking about because they use a very similar
Character model.
character model for a lot of their female characters. I think same thing in Enslaved. Actually, what was the name of the character in Heavenly Sword? I forget.
Not the main character, the crazy one.
Oh, well, the name of the main character in this is
Woody
Senua.
Okay, it's not her.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think Ninja Theory has a really impressive catalog of games here.
I think they have a terrible name.
I don't mind it.
Is Andy Serkis involved with this one as well?
I'm not sure.
Because he's been in like all the games.
Yes,
I think he
and-
might be part of the studio.
Was he the main character in Enslaved?
Yeah, he was. He was. Yep.
He might have done
I
the
think so.
mocap.
No,
Did
he
do the voice
definitely did the
It's like- or
mocap,
Odyssey
and
to the
I
West.
Comic book, isn't it?
he
No, it's one of the 4 great classic pieces of Chinese literature.
Oh, okay.
he certainly did the mocap, and he may have also done
Goku's based
the main
off
character's
of
voice
King.
acting.
work? He did appear in the game later on, though.
But the reason, one of the great things
Japanese
about Enslaved
pronunciation
Odyssey to the West,
Don't talk over each other.
I'm talking.
Sidebar.
Every time Andrew does that, it's
Sidebar.
actually not that bad on the audio.
Oh.
That's on the audio just grinds to a halt.
Well, take my word for it. It's much worse here than it is on the audio.
one of the great things about Enslaved Odyssey to the West is it's written by Alex Garland. And if you don't know Alex Garland, he wrote, this is a great record. 28 Days Later.
What's it called? Oh.
You all see 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, good movie.
And he wrote Sunshine,
Silly Murphy.
right?
Yeah.
And
Like Eddie
he
Murphy's brawler.
then he wrote Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
Wait. The guy that wrote Sunshine? Wow.
Yeah, and then
I have to go
he's-
replay that game
He's
now.
my favorite writer. But one of my favorite screenplay writers. Then he wrote Dread, and then he
The
wrote
new one, I'm assuming.
which is phenomenal. And then he wrote Ex Machina, which is coming out here for us in April.
I heard that was really good.
I heard it was
From the
really good as well.
Early reviews.
Me and Adam are both going to see it and writing reviews for that one. I cannot wait. Alex Garland is so good, and he's writing Halo.
Any relation to Andrew Garfield?
Alex Garland, Andrew Garfield.
Film
Yep.
adaptation of Beyonce's.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
which.
their first name start with
But
A,
apparently
they're related.
there's just this like nondescript thing. It just says Halo, and then Alex Garland.
Fuck Halo, but let's keep going.
Jordan.
I've got a whole new appreciation for
you not like Halo?
Enslaved now.
Fuck Halo.
Right, yeah, I know, yeah.
I still think the robot section at the beginning runs a little too long.
You get past it because the game gets
It's so long.
so good. Enslaved.
It's like
It is good.
45 different scenarios
Oh, wow.
on how to kill robots.
Do you meet a pig and an ox? Or
You do meet Piggy, yeah.
what about
A
Pig's
scarecrow and a robot
No
and a ox.
I can't remember because in the book there's a monk and then two enslaves kind of the monkey king and then there's a pig and then there's another animal.
There's a
chick.
pig guy in the game. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it's a
Maybe
very
I didn't
loose
beat
adaptation.
it.
There's a...
He's a fat guy with pig.
Can we?
Oh,
There's...
No, I'm going on a new thing.
New thing. Okay, I just want to read. IGN did an interview with Alex Garland sometime in 2012. I talked to him about the Halo movie and stuff, which he says he was contracted to write 10 years before. Actually,
It's been in development hell for a while.
so and they asked him one question: why do you think there hasn't been a great movie adaptation of a video game yet? And his response, the first sentence of it was, "There are very few good movies. Full stop." And so, I like that. He seems to be uncompromised. Most movies are crap, just like most video games are crap. He seems to have a bit of an attitude.
They did DMC as well, you said.
They did DMC, which I loved.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Adam. Yeah.
So Monty Ohm died this week.
Yeah,
they did.
yeah, I was wondering if we should bring that up or
Well,
not.
I mean,
because
it's
it happened. Well, it happened the day after we recorded last episode.
Well, he didn't die today. No,
He
he
died-
died on Monday.
No, he passed away on Saturday. Last Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Fans we are.
I can't, man. I can't remember like what the days were when.
It was a
I thought it
couple
was
of days.
Sunday.
I think it was a bit up in the air. I mean, I'm not sure on the exact date either, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
there
I'm
was
sure
a
it was
few
like,
days where like
Or maybe it
it
was
was
Sunday.
difficult.
It might have been Sunday.
Yeah, because I know I didn't find out until like Saturday or Sunday because they hadn't told anybody till Saturday or Sunday. And the next
think
day
it
it
was
came out that he
Sunday.
died. Anyway, for those who don't know, Monty Ohm was a big contributor at Rooster Teeth. He did a bunch of series, did a lot of the animation for Red vs. Blue. He did. He was the creator and the writer, part of the writer and the animator. He was a lot of stuff for Ruby, and he
was basically in charge.
He was
of
yeah,
Ruby.
he was a heavy hitter there.
he was basically not. He wasn't the head of their animation department. I forget what his name is. Who is? But he was like the driving force.
Yeah.
And like hearing people talk, probably the hardest working individual I've ever heard of. Like by far. Like
The first thing I saw that was done by him was Haloid.
yeah.
If you saw that.
I saw Dead Fantasy first, but Haloid was right after because I watched that even before he joined Rooster Teeth. Because when I heard like Monty Ohm was joining Rooster Teeth, I was like, oh my god.
You know, he did the animation for the Samurai Jack game. Not Samurai Jack.
It's one of the
What's the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai.
Really?
He's done a lot of
That's
stuff.
pretty cool.
He did the animation in that, the fighting
cool.
animation in that game.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so he's done a lot of stuff. He was such a big fan of anime and just like that kind of that style, but also animation in itself. I don't know. It's a real shame that such a very talented creator has passed. He was only 33 or something.
Yeah, way too young.
Yeah. So like I'm just thinking like all the stuff that like that happened, like that could have happened. I don't know. It was really sad. So
Yeah,
we're just sympathies go out to his family and the guys at Rooster Teeth. I don't know. And coming away from that, I played the Metal. Speaking of anime, kind of, I played Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. The $40 hour-long demo for.
You didn't do anything else though.
I don't think it's a demo.
You didn't. You played.
It's a
you
demo.
played through.
No,
the
I don't
main
think it's a
missions.
demo.
Did you
but
do
why-
anything else?
No, but why would I? It's not story. Like I'm not.
There
I'm
is
only.
story.
Is there story?
There's not like main.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of like little bit like the tapes you can find and stuff
Can
like
we
that.
not can we not let developers get fooled and like thinking that the kids should keep doing this?
I honestly
Let's call
don't-
it what it is. It's an hour-long game for $40.
I honestly
It's
don't
not.
think it was worth
It's
$40,
honestly not.
but it was a very good game. I'll admit. Like this is the first time I've
you
ever
enjoyed it?
I immensely enjoyed it. It was one of the few times the only time I played a Metal Gear Solid game and enjoyed it because like for whatever like okay, let's get this out of the way. The dialogue is bad.
In this one?
I find the dialogue... Well, some of the dialogue...
You don't like Metal Gear Solid dialogue generally, though, right?
Yeah, like, some of the dialogue was good.
I just want to establish some background.
I've heard some examples of really good Metal Gear Solid dialogue, but it can also go on the other end.
Right,
like,
sure, yeah.
At the end... I don't care, spoilers. At the end of the game...
Yeah, I want to know what you think of the ending as well.
Can I... Okay, I'm going to spoil it.
And what
Does
you
anybody
think of it.
care?
I want to spoil Far Cry 4.
only
You
a
guys
demo,
wouldn't let me
so
tell
go
you.
ahead.
Because Far Cry 4 it's still...
Far Cry is an actual game. This is just a demo.
It's not a demo.
Far Cry is brand new. Metal Gear Solid's been out for a little longer.
Yeah.
Less people
But it's just
care
something
about the
cool
Metal Gear
that I
Solid
did
ending,
in
I
it
think,
for-
generally.
So if you don't play Ground Zeroes, are you missing like crucial information otherwise?
Not really.
For the Phantom Pain? Yeah, you are.
Well,
Totally.
yeah, but like you can easily... If you're not that interested in
But
it,
would they,
you read the
like-
wiki.
If you didn't play Peace Walker, you're missing essential information for Ground
Yeah, but that's a
Zeroes.
full
Yeah.
game.
I didn't play
I
Peace Walker.
haven't played Peace Walker, so I was lost. So I went back and read the wiki article. I kind of want to go back and play Peace Walker now.
And 3.
And 3.
You got to play 3 to understand Peace Walker. You got to play Peace Walker to understand Ground
Wasn't Metal
Zeroes.
Gear Solid 4 out for PS3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 2007 for the PlayStation 3,
Is
as I
that Peace
recall.
Walker?
No.
They're not made in
Peace
order.
Walker was the PSP game.
God, this is
Do you
terrible.
own it? Do you own the HD collection?
Yeah.
Can I borrow
2
it?
copies of it. Yeah.
Yeah, can I borrow the other copy?
What for what systems?
Is that cool?
PS3.
You
Do you have
it came
one
out
for
PS3.
Xbox?
No.
Can I
There-
borrow
there
one of your
was one for
PS3
Xbox.
copies?
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
think it did come out for Xbox, didn't it?
Yep.
I'll have to track down an Xbox copy and play Peace
Shouldn't be that
Walker
expensive.
and Snake Eater. But anyway, Anyway, is a really fun game. Like the mechanics in this are really sharp. Like I remember crawling around and I had to look behind myself for whatever reason. And instead of like in most games when you're prone, when you look behind, your character flips around really quickly, and it's kind of like whatever. In this,
Real
Snake
detracts.
rolls onto his back and holds like that. I'm like, for whatever reason, that's such an attention to detail I haven't seen before. And like if you want to move quickly to the side when you're prone, you don't crawl like crab crawl, I guess, really quickly to the side. You roll.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And there's like little stuff like that that's awesome. Now there's also some problems with the game. So one of my major problems with the game is some of the acting and story or the dialogue is kind of hokey. In that
Like what? Give an example.
in the end of the game, when Mother Base?
Yeah. I believe
When
so.
Mother Base blows up, and you're flying away in the helicopter, and is it Kazuya? I can't remember his name.
It's just Kaz.
Kaz. When Kaz, like you rescue Kaz, and he's just like,
Just cause.
two.
Free, they announced that.
And he's just like, he's sitting in the airplane. He's like, damn it, they blew it up. Why? Why did they blow it up? They took it away. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's
you,
a
Adam.
combination
Don't
of the
yell
not
at
so
me.
stellar dialogue
For an
or the
anime
not so-
fan, you pick up on that stuff a lot in games.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like, yeah, I guess. And I'm
You-
not
you
saying
pers-
that.
I'm saying you personally. Like you're.
Yeah.
I think you're the biggest anime fan here.
Probably. I don't know if you want to fight me for that.
No, I think Adam, you get the belt.
Okay.
But do you
Thanks.
hold anime
I just sometimes
to
go through
Oh my
the
god,
same
yes.
moves.
I find that that's why I can generally
speed.
only listen to the Japanese dialogue with subtitles, because I find
Right.
that the English voice acting does not really match up as well with the Japanese animation as a lot of people think it does. Now, sometimes it's fine, but other times, when it's good, it's pretty good, but when it's bad,
Dragon Ball
it's
Z.
really bad.
Dragon
Dragon Ball Z was an example of where it could be really bad.
Is it just an example of like they don't
also
want to
could be
get
good.
rid of words from the animation?
Yeah,
Like
so they kind of gotta like, but just like they'll take stuff really like they'll take so like in a Japanese anime, oftentimes characters will like make noises like that kind of an I don't know. Like Goku did it all the time, where he's trying to lift something really heavy. You go like, or
That's where you turn off the show and
I do
never
that
watch
when I
it
lift
again.
stuff.
but like it works in Japan. For whatever
That's what that
reason,
sound means.
in the Japanese,
That's the sound of Andrew turning off the
for the
TV.
Japanese voice actors, it works. But when an American voice actor tries to do it,
Doesn't work
doesn't,
though.
See,
It
no,
doesn't.
here's-
Not as well.
here's what
not
I
even
find.
for Japanese, it doesn't work. I'm not saying Japanese anime doesn't have problems or things I don't like about it, and there are certainly moments.
Immense
in
catastrophic problems, which Metal
Can
Gear
I-
Solid does.
Actually,
have
once we
sometimes.
finish the Metal Gear Solid, can I come back to this and give my 2 cents on
Yeah.
that? Continue.
But anyway, so anime has dialogue problems certainly, and so does like the it can be really hokey, and it's same here. But at the same time, I found myself getting really kind of invested in the characters, even via the tapes when I was, because at the beginning of the game, you have like 15 tapes you got, or like actually close to the 30. I spent the first hour of the game just listening to those tapes, and they were pretty cool. And I swear to God, I will punch you in the...
I was trying to anime lip sync to you.
Yeah, I know. And
you don't have the teardrop or the stress symbol or whatever.
Ow! You see when you like
Take the
jump
headphones
down
off,
into
you know
the
what's
chair.
happening.
so
Take it off when you know it's happening.
So, like, when you're listening to tapes, you're getting really invested in Paz. No, it's
Just
Paz.
Cause.
It's
Just
Kaz
Kaz.
and Paz.
Oh
Cause
my
and Paz, there we
fucking
go.
god.
And her name...
They're
I found
short.
out-
They're shortened from their real name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what Paz's real name is? This is dumb. Pacifica Ocean, and I'm just like,
Alka-Seltzer.
why? Who made up this character?
think
My God, they should be fired out of a cannon.
Into the
I'm
Pacific Ocean.
pretty sure that's not her real name.
Oh, I know, it's like a code. 'Cause
That's
she's
still
anyway.
shit!
Anyway, you're listening to it, and you're getting really invested. And, like, at the beginning, you're just like, she's just like, these soldiers were out having a good time. I hate when people have a good time. It's so meaningless. I'm just like, oh, God. And then eventually, like, you get the, like, you
Short
get
for
really
Pacific Ocean.
you get really, like, invested in this character. And then I'm just getting invested in this character, and there's one tape where she's like, and I'm sitting out on the
That's
deck.
not her name.
What?
It's Paz Ortega and
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
Paz,
her real
Paz
name
is a real
Oh,
name.
her real name is Pacific Ocean.
So she has
really?
three nicknames: Paz Ortega Andrade.
The backstory behind this shit needs
Andrade.
to fucking stop.
Anyway,
Andrade.
so you're
It's
listening
Brazilian.
to this, you're listening
I think
to this tape.
the name
That's a
Andrade is
nickname.
Brazilian.
You're right.
Well, she's from Brazil,
It's
so
a
that makes
nickname.
sense.
I only know because of
Actually,
UFC.
no, she's from Costa Rica, so I don't know. She's from America.
But regardless, Andrade is a Brazilian
Actually, her
name. I'm almost
nationality
She
positive.
was
is
raised in the
American.
United States.
But I think her family's Brazilian. 'Cause I don't know. It
Jesus.
doesn't-
All right, so everything's screwed up. Go ahead.
So she's on the deck sunbathing, and she's like, I was out on this deck sunbathing trying to get a little sun, and then, like, another female character comes over, and she's like, you don't want your skin to get burnt, let me rub. And she describes in, like, minute detail how this other female character starts rubbing her entire body over with suntan lotion. I'm
What
just
game
like,
is this?
What?
This is Ground Zero.
Oh.
That's absolutely one of the tapes. It's like tape number 5, because I
Okay.
listened to it like 8 times. No. But it was like, and graphic detail. So I'm listening to this really heartfelt story of this double agent, and her loyalties are shifting, and she's caught in a really hard situation. All of a sudden, spank material, and just like,
It's a nice 64 gig flash drive you got there.
why?
supposed to come in
Why? Anyway,
The
also,
If she plays a huge role in Peace Walker.
I know, like
So-
I've read the
okay.
wiki for Peace Walker, so I know what happens.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to catch up, because I knew that this game ties into Peace Walker.
Cool up soon.
yes, we can. I just wanted to
Anyway,
say.
so it was a good game. I'm looking forward to Phantom Pain a lot now.
Looking
I will be
forward
getting
to
that
You
game.
Ground
should go
One.
back and legitimately give the past games a try.
I don't know if I
Even
have that
if-
much time to spare. This is like hours and hours. I'll definitely
but
go back
it's
and
it's
play.
it's really
than
quite an
any other,
experience.
I guess.
You play the game on double speed. You know, just like super fast cutscenes and everything is sped up.
The
You're a fan of the series.
Have you
I
played
know.
the
Terrible
8-bit?
fucking series.
Have you
Yeah,
just played
cheat
Metal
mode.
Gear?
The
like, the
original, like
top-down?
the
Yeah, like the 8-bit.
yeah.
Because that was included with the HD version, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
the thing about the anime thing is I'll compare it to something else because that's always how I communicate with entertainment. So you're familiar with the original Old Boy, right?
Yep.
Well, and you know they did the American remake, of course, with Josh Brolin.
Before he went to hell.
And when they did, the thing was one of the weird things about the American remake is it's not like nightmarish or oddly stylistic. It's just kind of blunt in its style,
Right.
which makes a lot of the narrative quirks of Old Boy
Also, Hellboy
seem
was
a lot more
rock.
obvious. It's not not a
it's-
nightmare,
it
and
wasn't
you're not as
that
forgiving as some of the stuff
as
anymore.
Old Boy.
And I feel the same way about anime.
Whatever, Jordan.
When I watch anime, I'm forgiving a lot of the stuff because of the weird visual quirks. It makes the whole thing quirky, kind of like the Grand Budapest Hotel. But if you were to take an anime story and make the style a little more matter of fact, I'd be less forgiving, probably.
Right.
That's sort of the way I view it.
I just hate bad dialogue.
Fair enough.
Really hate bad.
But there's
dialogue.
examples of anime that have really good dialogue. Like,
Cowboy Bebop has good dialogue.
I was about to say Cowboy Bebop is one. Like
Ghost in the Shell is iffy on the dialogue.
Ghost in the Shell depends on what, like, because there's like 18 different movies and series and stuff. So it's hit or miss with Ghost in the Shell. I mean, like, I don't know.
Steins Gate has great dialogue.
What I think has good dialogue is also like I like it just because I find it funny and you probably wouldn't. So I'm trying to like rack my brain about like what else is like Cowboy Bebop. I'll have to think about it, but like there is good examples. Of
Steins Gate is
like you shouldn't like discontinue the entire like medium just because like it has terrible fans.
I like Studio
because it does.
Ghibli.
Anime has terrible
absolutely.
fans. Probably the worst fans. Do you think? Out of all fandoms.
When you start to, but feel free to dislike anime once you start watching, because that's a possibility too. You might just not like the medium as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've seen enough bad anime to just stick to what I know is good.
Fair enough. There's enough live action out
ignore
there.
a lot of the other stuff.
What about the Hayao Miyazaki films?
They're good.
Yeah, so like there are good, like even if you're not a huge fan of that medium,
I'm totally aware that there's good anime.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. Like, I don't watch.
You get very sarcastic with your Facebook status or Facebook messages sometimes. So you'll be like,
I basically
Absolutely.
I didn't watch any animated films last year, and it wasn't because none of them were good. It's just because like I was like, I've got enough live action movies to see, and I tend to gravitate more towards that.
If an anime's got a really interesting setting, and this goes for Metal Gear as well, because that's like I'm not a fan of Metal Gear because of the well written dialogue, right? Because some of the stuff is really good, some of the stuff is not.
Some of the best stealth in any stealth game, I think.
It's the gameplay and the setting. The settings of the games are fantastic.
Yep.
And anime like Ghost in the Shell, like Cowboy Bebop. Akira, too. Akira has a great setting.
I'm going to go read that.
Akira Nightly.
Well, here's the problem with Akira, very briefly. Yeah. It's a 2-hour-long movie based off a 200-page manga.
Yeah,
2,000-page manga.
You absolutely do not get the full extent of the...
Which is why, like, stuff happens, and they're just like, it's like, this happened in the Izukawa event. I'm like, what was that? And it's like, it's explained in the comic book, and I'm just like, oh. Okay.
We're probably going to...
Beautiful movie.
We're probably going to want to clue up now.
Okay. Yes, please.
Some 43 minutes into the after show.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back again next Monday. And,
Jordan, say goodbye.
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 Let's go to
Ouch.
time, man.